It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Miami Dolphins and the Indianapolis Colts, and it's coming up next.
Just a few blocks down the street from the state capitol in Indiana, it's Lucas Oil Stadium, downtown Indianapolis, the home of the Colts. So good to have you with us. Mike Tirico, Greg Olson, excited for this one. Partner, what are we looking at here as this game gets rolling?
You know, I think this game is quite interesting in the fact, Mike, that I feel like before every week's matchup, we sit up here and we talk about quarterbacks and the passing game. And obviously, that is the direction the NFL has been headed for the last couple years. But in this matchup here today specifically, I think both these offenses want to flip that on its head. They want to control the clock, time management, ball control. Don't be afraid to punt the ball away and play defense. It's a little bit of an old school philosophy, but you have to do whatever it takes to win each matchup, and I think both of those formulas of these two teams are very similar.
The veteran, Jason Sanders, ready to get us started. Off we go from downtown Indianapolis. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Colts offense going to take the field here for the first time. Led by their man at quarterback out of the University of Florida, it's Anthony Richardson.
I always like studying quarterbacks in year two. I think rookie year, there can either be a lot of growth, right? There's the biggest ability to take that jump, but there's also some struggles you have to work through. In year two, a full offseason, really understanding the playbook. Things have kind of slowed down for you. I feel like year two is a really good indicator of what long-term success looks like for any young quarterback.
Strong. And he'll be taken down right at the 35-yard line. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. From the gun, Richardson. Open man downfield, it's Pittman. That one good for 26 yards.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
From the 39, here's a 1st and 10. Zone read, it's a give to Taylor. He'll get about 2. Javon Holland up to make the tackle. Second down and 8. They go right back to Taylor. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4. And it leads to 3rd down. Out of shotgun, Richardson. He'll let this go deep for the end zone. Jalen Ramsey, he is tough to throw on. There to bat that one away.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner, and next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
Gay's kick is good. And the Colts will take a 3-0 lead.
And that's a good drive right out of the gate. They're able to make some plays, move the ball down the field. I know they didn't get a touchdown, but that is a good, positive result.
Three points on that opening drive. We'll see the response as the kick's away. On the return, Malik Washington. Terrific return. He's taken down just shy of midfield. The Miami offense will make their way onto the field, led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
In my opinion, Mike, if they expect to leave here today with a win, they're going to have to be aggressive early and often. They might not connect on all of them, but pushing the ball downfield could open up a lot of opportunities for you to take advantage as this game unfolds.
Here's 1st and 10. Hill brought in motion. Fake the handoff. Now, oh, no chance to get rid of that one. Under a heavy rush, he goes down.
When you can bring cornerbacks on pressure, man, that changes everything for the defensive play caller. Offenses spend all week worrying about linebackers, defensive linemen. How are they going to protect the quarterback? But when you can time up a secondary pressure like this, man, oftentimes there's no answer for it.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. A shotgun snap for Tua. That's taken in by Achane. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. From the gun, here's Tua. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
So on 4th down, it's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Josh Downs set to return for the Colts. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Colts offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. They were able to turn that opening drive into points. 3-0 our score as they start again with a 1st down. To throw, it's Richardson. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes.
Just a great individual effort, and when you have a guy that can win his one-on-one matchups, now it becomes less about who's blocking him and how do we block him. Expect the offense to make some adjustments because right now, one-on-one, this defender is going to win every time.
On 2nd down, Richardson. Catch made. That's Woods. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
Well, let's give some credit to the big boys up front in the trenches. They knew that blitz was coming. They held up just long enough that the quarterback could get that ball out safely and results in a completion.
So just a lone field goal in the 1st quarter of play. 3-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. Here's a 3rd and 10. Richardson. He'll look middle, and he's got his man complete. That's his 1st reception of the ballgame, and it really comes at a good time as they get the conversion on 3rd down.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these 3rd downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force 3rd down, they got to get off the field.
Off the play fake, it's Richardson. That's the tight end, Mo Cox. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
This defense just gets punched in the mouth on that one, Mike, and it just seemed from up here that not everyone on defense was on the same page, and the offense was able to take advantage of it. The defense has to clean things up here in a hurry, because if they don't, they could be in for a long day.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Now Richardson. Open man. That's Alec Pierce.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Here's Richardson. Short pass taken in by the tight end. And they'll whistle him down, but not before it picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has...
And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down.
And that's a big-time play. It felt like they really needed it, Mike. That was a drive where the offense seemed to be in complete control. Anytime on the defense where you find yourself on your heels, you're giving up big plays, you're giving up fresh set of downs, you need a spark. You need something to change the momentum of the drive, and we'll see if that was it right there.
So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. Looking to throw, Richardson. Oh, this pass rush dialed in right now. They get him again.
If there's any silver lining for this drive, Mike, it's the fact that at least this sack occurred on an early down. So I guess technically they have a chance to claw themselves out of this hole, but that's the 3rd sack of the game. And this defense doesn't show any signs of slowing down.
Two minutes remain in a 3-0 first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Richardson to throw. And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
And that one joints off the upright and in. Fortunate break, but the kick is good. And the Colts going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half. So the lead stands at 6-0 as this one is kicked off. Washington now to return it. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The Dolphins offense ready to take over for their 2nd possession. They're still in search for their first points in this one, but only trailing 6-0. And this drive will begin with the 1st down. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. That's complete. It's Jalen Waddle.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route, and then next thing you know, he gets to his break point, he breaks in, and that ball's put right on the money for a big pickup.
That's taken in left side by Smith. They'll mark him down up at the 44-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa. He'll go right back to Smith. They hook up again. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
That is caught left side by Waddle. Now Miami going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, it's Tua. He'll get that into the hands of Tyreek Hill. And he's going to have the first down as he gets out of bounds, and he stopped the clock as well. On play action, it's Tagovailoa.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Tua gonna throw. No one open. He'll drop it to his running back. And he's going to be brought down. They passed on that field goal attempt, and they get nothing out of it as the first half comes to an end.
All right, Mike, we'll take it from there as we welcome everyone into our EA Sports Studios and our halftime report. The second half, straight ahead. Time to get back to it. And for the call, let's rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Coach, thank you. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out on top in this second half coming up. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. The deficit, 6 points. A touchdown here would be mighty nice for the offense. See what they can do on this drive. 1st and 10. Now it's Tua. He'll get this out to his running back. He did a good job of making one man miss, but could not get away from this defense in the end. It turns into a loss of yardage.
To play corner in this league, Mike, you have to have great reactions and instincts. In this case, he trusts those instincts from the jump, and he's able to send the offense going backwards as a result.
Now the former Texas A&M Aggie, here's Devon Achane. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards, and that leads to 3rd down. Hill brought in motion. Throwing on third down, Tagovailoa. Throwing it right into the hands of his running back. And he's very close to a first down, but it doesn't look like he got there. And yes, they're going to mark him a yard short.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the first down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on fourth down.
Whoa. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Colts offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. They work with a 6-point advantage as they start this drive on 1st and 10. Here's Richardson. Going to keep this himself. And they're going to bring him down, but there is a penalty marker on the field. They'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
A 2nd down throw for Richardson. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down. 19 yards on the gain, and that's good for a first down.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. Well, not exactly breaking news here, Mike. They got speed on the perimeter that just not a lot of teams in the NFL have. So even though that ball falls incomplete, I think they have to continue to do it, continue to pressure this defense and make them defend the entire field. Because as they're worried about him running by them, there is a lot of space open underneath.
They'll motion over Pierce. They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And he'll be marked down at the 45-yard line.
This is where you have to be careful, Mike. You find yourself winning in the second half. Human instinct says, all right, let's just sit on the ball and protect the lead and let the clock run out. You can't do that. Stay aggressive. Do what got you here. Continue to mix the run with the pass. Keep your foot on the gas and try to extend this lead.
Richardson operating from the pistol. Taking off. Taking advantage of the room to run. A gain of 19 on the scramble.
Mike, this is the element to the position that this guy brings that's just so unique across the league. Not only the speed, but his ability to operate in the open field as a runner. It is hard for a defense to plan for a guy like this.
Richardson to throw it here on first down. That is brought in at the 10. And he'll be taken down.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these first downs and go finish with 6.
Now it is 1st and goal. From the gun, Richardson. And that'll be incomplete on what turns out to be the final play of this third quarter. So we'll take it to the other end as we are through 3. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Another shot at it from the 9. Second down and goal. Out of the shotgun, Richardson. And he's close to the goal line, but they're going to mark him short, put him down at the 1.
Coming into the game, this is something defensively you have to be aware of. If this quarterback gets a chance and he sees some daylight, he's going to try to take it in on his own. But not in this case. They were quick to react, stop him short. Now brings up 3rd and goal.
They'll try and run. Here's Taylor. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Jonathan Taylor. Touchdown, Indy. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the 4th quarter. Get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the 4th quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Richardson and the Colts come to the line. They'll try to tack on 2 more. He'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone, doing it on his own. Successful 2-point conversion.
Everybody's looking to end every drive with 6, but when you can turn that 6 into 8, man, what a confidence boost coming off the field, and they're going to force their opponent now to start chasing.
So, after the touchdown, here's Gay to kick this one away. Washington now to return it. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. Out comes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tua. On throw here, right side, falls incomplete. Jalen Waddle, the intended target, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing and trust, critical elements of this quick passing game. If your target and the quarterback are not on the same page, it winds up being an incompletion and a wasted down.
Hill brought in motion. They'll fake the handoff. Now, the pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
So after picking up some positive yardage on 1st down, they end up going backwards on 2nd. That sack now brings up 3rd and long, and what most of the time is a very pass-happy situation makes them very one-dimensional.
So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Tua. And this drive is over before it can start. He's swallowed up to force 4th down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front, because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and this quarterback's paying the price for it.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down. And that's going to be incomplete. They had to take that chance, trailing here in the fourth, but they will turn it over on downs.
So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it through the air on fourth down, but this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on fourth down.
Here's a chance to put this game away. First down and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. He's able to get away from one man, but the reinforcements were there fast. He's taken down for a loss on the play.
At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
Now it's Richardson. He'll keep it.
You know, Mike, early in my time in Carolina, we were kind of on the forefront of this NFL zone read revolution. Cam Newton, one of the best to ever do it. I have seen up close and personal, when you run the zone read the right way, it is a nightmare for a defense to defend.
2 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Jonathan Taylor, touchdown Colts. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. So on third and goal, they run it in. Sometimes, Greg, that's 4-down territory. They didn't need to do it on fourth down, taking care of it on the third down for the touchdown.
Yeah, and when you find yourself down here this close, Mike, you have to finish these drives off. I'm with you. I think he was going to give his back 2 shots there to punch it in, but he only needed 1.
Matt Gay on for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Colts will stake themselves to a 21-0 lead. So, after the touchdown, here's Gay to kick this one away. Here comes D. Eskridge on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense ready to see what they can do. And, look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back, and in some of these coverage units, when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
On first down, here's Tagovailoa to throw. And no chance to turn and go. That one good for just a couple. Here's Tagovailoa. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Hill brought in motion. Play action. Tagovailoa. He's got his man. It's Hill. and they are not going to catch up to him. He will score. 72 yards. Touchdown, Miami. Third down. My focus, Greg, was on picking up the first down. Forget that. They go down the field and in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah, and I don't think it was just your focus, Mike. I think in this case, it was the defense's focus. They're so worried about where that first down marker was that they allowed them to get that ball up and over the top for the deep strike touchdown.
The extra point by Sanders is good. And the Dolphins get back in it. It is 21-7. This one not quite over, but down a couple of scores. We're going to get an onside kick.
Well, we knew, Mike, this was going to take a miracle. All they needed to do was recover this, score, recover another one, score again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and this game's all but over.
Here's the Indianapolis offense. Now as they get set to take over once more. They start with the lead and the football, and they do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. Richardson will give it to Taylor. And just a short gain there, down to the 38. Here's a 2nd and 9. Off the zone read, this is Richardson. Now Miami going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. They'll talk things over before 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's a run by Taylor. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on downs.
So this play by the middle linebacker is all about play recognition. Reminds me of a former teammate, Luke Kuechly. He knew the play before it was going to happen. Watch him. He diagnoses, he tracks the ball, and bang, makes a huge tackle, short of the yard to gain, forces the turnover on downs.
They'll come up for 1st and 10. Man in motion is Berrios. They'll drop to throw. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, The defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
Here's Tua now on second down. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
Third and long. Here's Tua. That is incomplete. And here we go. They're down to what could be their final play. It's fourth down.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. The Colts offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll begin with the football in the red zone already as the defense has their back to the wall to start this drive. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So it's a win for the Colts. They use a little home cooking here. They play a complete football game and are going to send their fans home quite happy. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Colts, winners.